interesting race for seeds 8 and then now who finishes 9th and 10th in the West.
You know, you think about last year, too. It's about learning moments and playing those meaningful games, what happened to the Pelicans and Memphis, etc. Last year, let's not forget where Portland was. And for that franchise, Smitty, what that year was, and through the postseason for them, I mean, that's a record-setting, a historic season. These are guys, most of them in the room, who went through that. How dangerous is that when you think about kind of that mix at the bottom of this conference, last 25, 30 games looking ahead, and that team knows how to turn that switch?
Yeah, they do. And, I mean, you also, we're not making excuses, but, you know, Nurkic has been hurt.
That's right.
Rodney Hood is out.
Yep.
Zach Collins is out. They've made some trades. So this team, yes, they got off to a slow start because of what I thought, injuries, and then also they just lost some games. But then when you have those injuries, it's hard to get it going. But I will say they've made some moves. So bringing in Carmelo, Caleb Swanigan and those guys in that trade. And like you said, Trevor Reeves, I think, is huge. If they can get on a roll and get going and Nurkic comes back and he's relatively healthy and can help them, those two bigs as a tag team is pretty good in the way Dame is playing right now.
Yeah, I think you got to say also, too, the way he carries himself and on the floor in big spots, one of the best leaders we have in the 4 major sports right now in Dame, even though maybe because in Portland not getting that credit he deserves. On the Lakers side, Coach, they really, to me, far exceeded, we stay basketball here for a second, the expectations, regardless of the talent, because of how consistently hard defensively they were playing, led by LeBron, the coaching and all of that they really sort of bought into quickly. How much, when you look at the rest of the way, is it maybe going to be a little hard to not have a rut here naturally by how much this thing's going to weigh a bit more on them than everybody else?
Well, they certainly have a little bit more going on. It came together very well, very quickly, and their strength of schedule was pretty good in their favor early in the season. That is going to catch up with them as time goes on. I think LeBron's minutes have been decent, but he has sat no games, very few games, should I say. So it's going to be interesting coming down the stretch. What seed, it does matter to me. In the Western Conference, seed does matter. They keep their foot on the gas. Certainly they're a target every night as being the Lakers. And hopefully going through this, it only brings them closer together. I know that's what Coach Vogel has been talking about.
And we'll hear from Coach Vogel and LeBron here in the next bit here on Game Time as we sit with you live. And, you know, you think about it, you look at 127, we know what Dame did. A lot of those white side plays, and look, it's hard because it's a different night. I'm not clearly getting on the Lakers at all, but we're looking at basketball, which we all need in some respects. This is the kind of thing that they have, to their credit, have not had much of, where there's easy second chance points, where because of their bigs, they've left room in the paint for that. This has kind of been an outlier for them in the kind of games they play defensively this season, Smitty.
Yeah, I mean, they're a fantastic defensive team. That's one thing they can hang their hat off. But I think the one area, and I was talking to Coach earlier, you know, I think guard and small point guards. I mean, then you have to have a guy like Avery Bradley who can guard. But I think it takes away their strength of them being long and also having advantages, you know, with their size. And then you have a Danny Green, who I think is a fantastic defender. But I don't know how much is he's good in guarding small point guards, shifty guys. So when you have shifty guys like Dame Lillard, and also that puts a lot of pressure. Are you having LeBron guard him? Have you having Kuzma guard him? Yes, Anthony Davis is going to clean up in the back. But when you're getting your team broken down and collapse the defense, no matter how good you are, it causes a lot of problems.
And I think what'll be interesting to watch as we go on this season, and you don't want to kind of skip ahead. Well, we now have advanced the Lakers, but you figure they're going to get into that nitty-gritty of kind of towards the finals, is the nights where LeBron's always been as great as I think anybody's ever played it. When he gets into a night, what do I need to do? Do I get the other guys going early? Do I need to be aggressive? AD is going to have nights, and we saw it in part tonight, Coach, where if you feed him enough, he's going to be your Lillard and you ride him. LeBron hasn't really played with a lot of that. Kyrie at times. Will we see some of that where LeBron allows, hey, you just go? Because AD is the kind of a player, look, there are a handful who could go beat you by himself in a given night.
And the stretches he's put on over the course of the seasons with New Orleans, where it's just 2 weeks he's unguardable, and he's got 50 3 times, and you can't scheme it, you can't front him, he spins out lobs, he gets offensive rebounds, he hits threes. Primetime player. Their issue is Kuzma has been better when one of their two main guys has been out. So as he learns to play with those guys and still get his numbers and make himself the third option, that will be best for them.
Not an easy situation for Frank Vogel over the last couple of weeks, as with the community around the Los Angeles Lakers. Here he is after the loss.
It was a heavy and emotional night. from the tribute all the way throughout the game. We felt it, and our guys poured their guts out there. So I couldn't be more. We're disappointed we didn't get the win, but I couldn't be more happy and more proud of our guys' effort and and their performance.
Hey, Frank, how would you just describe the whole evening, the pregame ceremony, the emotion that went into that, you guys trying to then focus on basketball? What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was very emotional. Our guys were teared up going into the into the jump ball, and you just felt it the whole night. You wanted to give maximum effort, but we had a difficult week, and in a situation like that, all you ask for your guys is to put forth maximum effort, and try to lock in as best you can mentally, and they did that, and they did it at a high level. They ran into the hottest player in the NBA.